Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to probably a relatively brief Hello Dave, but we're going to start off in Elite Dangerous, where we last week got update 12, launched for Elite Dangerous Odyssey. This was the update that brought us the new variant on the settlement defense missions, so now we have an illegal variant, which is exactly the same as the non-illegal variant, only that you're shooting police instead of shooting bad guys. So other than that, not really a lot there. There's some few performance optimizations. I haven't noticed anything massive. I haven't done a proper, I've had this test suite that I've been doing where I run specific locations and I do the exact same things every time, and I run and I measure the exact frame rates. I haven't done a full test like that, but I haven't noticed anything massive in terms of performance changes, at least for me. Update went out, though it did come out a little delayed. Not only was it, of course, moved from the end of May, which was its original planned release, until it was supposed to come out on the 7th of June, which was Tuesday last week. But they pushed it very last minute, like the evening before it was supposed to go live. It was pushed one day forward since they found some bug undisclosed, but they found some bug in that they needed to fix before it came out. So good find on Frontier, and again, absolutely right decision moving it out, even though it was very much last minute when it comes out on the evening, the day before it's supposed to go live. Patch was launched without too many hassles. It seems there was a few weird known issues with the bug, like stuff that Frontier acknowledged they knew was a bug, like there were some of the buttons, if you're using controllers, that would just stop working outright. It was like, I was reading that, I was like, what, why, how, what are you doing? How does that sneak in? But to Frontier's credit, they did fix that bug a few days later. But I was just a little puzzled about that. But again, that was fixed in a hotfix and is now working. But with that, we're not expecting any further updates to Elite Dangerous before we get the update 13, which is in about 3 months' time. Over in Star Citizen, CRG is beginning to prep everything for update 3.17.2. There is a lot of smaller things, but some noticeable ones. Stanton is getting more Lagrange points. Now, normally this is probably not something that interests a lot of people, but as an astro nerd, I find this stuff super interesting. Right? So we have these Lagrange points, and we already have them in game, and they have gas clouds as you would expect. And they are positioned correctly according to the stars and the planets and all that stuff. And when they said they added more, at first I thought, but wait, we already have all the Lagrange points, until I went into the game and actually looked. It's like, oh wait, no, we don't. So each planet actually has 5 Lagrange. Well, in physics, they will have 5 Lagrange points. When you have a two-body system, a planet orbiting a star, that planet will have 5 Lagrange points spread out. One between the planet and the sun, and one on the outside, one on the opposite side, and then 2 following out on the sides. So there are 5 per planet. Some of them only have 1, I think. We only have ARC-L1, if I recall correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at least a lot of them, especially the the L2 Lagrange point, the ones on the outside, are often missing and is not in the game. We have some of the L3s and L4s, and we also have some of the L5s. But it seems like they're adding more. I don't know if they're adding all of them. And the interesting thing is going to be, are these going to come with rest stops? I don't know. But this could be interesting, especially from a miner's perspective, because some of the refining stations, if they're going to have refining stations, we don't know, but if they're going to have refining stations, then there could potentially be some new hotspots for mining. As we know, one of the best places to mine right now is out of Lyria, but one of the best places to refine is all the way over at Crusader, which is quite a bit of a trip to take across the system, especially when you have your cargo hold full of Quantinium. You don't always have the time to make that long trip. So getting more Lagrange points in the game could mean that we maybe get a better Quantinium refinery in close proximity to Lyria, maybe meaning that a lot of the mining activity is going to move out of ARC-L1 and over to some of those new Lagrange points. I don't know. I think it would really only be ARC-L2 that would potentially be close enough to be within acceptable range for hauling Quantinium, but we'll have to see. But nevertheless, I think it's interesting. Technically, what they could also do is add Lagrange points for every moon. So, as I said, each planet will have up to 5 Lagrange points. So with 4 planets, we can have up to 20 Lagrange points in in Stanton, if we're not counting moons, because moons orbiting planets will also have Lagrange points, though they will be very weak. They probably won't be strong enough to hold a station there. Then they could technically still exist, and I don't know if they're planning to add those. Not that planet systems really need point of interest to go to, I think. But if they really wanted to expand positions or places where they could put things in the game, then adding moon Lagrange points would be an option there too. Also coming in 3.17.2 is the Ninetales invasion of Orison. This was something we talked about all the way back during the Invictus launch week, which is like, I don't know, 2 weeks, ended 2 weeks ago, started like almost a month ago now. It didn't make it in, or at least it was enabled and it caused some server issues, so it was disabled again. But it seems that they are now ready, and we're not now going to get this new dynamic event in game, so we can go and play around with that. And for those who are not familiar with it, I don't know what it is about. It's a dynamic event where the Ninetales, which is like a terrorist or pirate organization, or basically a criminal organization, has taken over a few platforms on Orison. And the player's job is to join up with other people, and they're going to go to those platforms, they're going to go dagger on foot, kill all the bad guys, go from platform to platform to platform. And these platforms are massive, by the way. They're huge, and you get lost very easily. But once everything is cleared, you move on to the next one, and you eventually make it to like the administration center, where there's like a final boss, and you have to kill him, and then ta-da, everyone's happy, and everybody will be back home in time for tea and cookies. That's coming also in 3.17.2. Definitely looking forward to that. As I said, I want to try to keep it brief this week, so I'm going to move on to live streams. So I have 3 main projects that I am working on at the moment. One of them is on Howard. Of course, I'm grinding materials right now, and I've hit a pretty hard grind wall called smear campaign plans, and I'm trying to find the last few ones. I'm missing like 3 or 2 or something stupid right now, so I'm almost there. But it is one of those hard grinds where you just have to farm the same settlement over and over and over again. Go and farm it up to Super Cruise, back down. When you're using an Apex shuttle, it takes forever. And then farm the settlement over and over and over again. So that's what I've been doing on Howard when I feel like just, unplugging the brain and just do some mindless grind. Then I've been doing that. Over in Star Citizen, I've been working on some PvE space combat. There's been some changes around it, especially around the weapons, and shields have had some changes since last time I really took a dive into it. So I'm trying to get back into PvE combat. I actually started recording a video because I thought, okay, I'm just going to go in and then record as we go and then see what comes up. But so many things have changed that that didn't make it. So that video is going to be a little delayed, but I have to explore that a little bit more, try to figure out how it exactly works after the changes before that video comes out. So that's a project I'm working on as well. And of course, the final project is in No Man's Sky, where I'm just trying to learn No Man's Sky. Recorded a video today where I started to do some base building. Been having a ton of fun in No Man's Sky lately. So those are the 3 projects that I'm currently working on. And I'm not really sure which one to live stream. I mean, endlessly farming the same settlement over and over and over again on Howard is probably not the most interesting thing to watch, to be honest, as it is, as I said, mindless grind. PvE combat in Star Citizen could be interesting, but I really want to have the unlocking process footage as standalone, so I'm not really sure of that. So even though I did stream No Man's Sky last week, and I really want to try to switch it up, I am actually leaning a bit towards streaming No Man's Sky again this week. But again, if you have other suggestions, I would love to hear them in the comment section below. But nevertheless, the live stream is going to be tomorrow, and it's going to be at 7 o'clock in-game time live stream on YouTube and Twitch as always. I hope I will see you there. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in space.